2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of Satan's devices. Call halal Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai Bahasham Rakaha Kwadash. Double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so. Now more so than ever, the would-be judges, the 144,000, and the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth among the heathen nations that have the appearance of the heathen nations. This is not a black-only thing, right? This is an Israelite thing. And to the few Akwaf that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you another lesson in truth. And what you're looking at is the confusion that's being caused at the airports purposely through the Real ID process. And if there's really a need for them, look, I just watched The Accountant 2. Really good movie. And when you see the scenes when the kids are on their computers using facial recognition and all this extra stuff is really unneeded. All they need is a glimpse of your face and they know everything about you, down to your credit score, everything of your debts, anything about you is known. So this process, this saying that they actually need it is no. This is just another thing to create chaos, and it's all roads leads to the micro SeeHip, because that's what it's going to come down to. Just watched the video with the beloved elder brother Yashawamba. I didn't watch the whole video, but I probably watched like the first maybe 20 minutes of it or so. Upon waking up, I was listening to it as I was, getting my coffee ready and feeding the dogs and all that. And all the chaos that's being caused at the airports and the extra security measures and how it's going to take longer. The 2 lines, you got 2 lines, but yet you still got, the line is slow. Reminds me of when the C-19 thing hit and all the extra confusion that caused. This is the same thing. The mask wearers and the non-mask wearers, and and so the people who don't have this real ID are going to be looked at as the problem eventually. And this is what they want. They want chaos and can create inconvenience so that everybody goes out and gets it. And this is also, once again, a step closer to the MOTB, to the what do you call those 15-minute cities. And I got a couple of videos that I like to share. As a matter of fact, we'll start with that one, with this 15-minute city thing. All right. And new car-free neighborhood, because this is what they want. They want absolute control. Okay. And the Real ID is not going to be enough either, because eventually, just like everything else, they'll be able to find something hackable or so the whole goal is to get your ID in you. Biometrics. That's what this is all about. Biometrics. Okay. And the order app KO that they're using to get there. And this is a part of it. So without any further ado,
in the U.S. designed and built specifically for car-free living. Co-founder Ryan Johnson says the demand is strong.
Every generation, and including 90% of Gen Z, would like to pay more to live in a walkable neighborhood.
Retail, restaurants, and to
let me
start
pause that. The demand is not strong. They're saying it's strong, but where's the proof in that? People don't want that. People want freedom. Some people don't want to be that close. I mean, think about this before I play this, because it's only a 49-second video. But some people like space. Some people don't even like their family like that. They don't, they only go see their family because they are family. All right. Some people, some couples that don't live together, they don't want to be that close to one another. All right. People just want their privacy. And what's the deal with all the parking spaces not being there so you can have more places for apartments and social stuff with a whole bunch of people you don't know or deal with. People, they're making it seem as if people just are friends with all their neighbors these days, and that's not the case. You know, if people knew everyone on their block going back like 30, 40 years ago. I would say even further than that. I say going back 40 plus years ago. You knew all the people on your block. You knew all the other kids. You know, you kind of knew their parents, their families, their older siblings, and whatever. Today, people barely even speak to each other. So what do they care? They really don't care. This is them. This is just them saying this because, in them meaning they who are in control, the wicked, because this is what they want. And so they use their media to propagate lies to tell you what you want, but it's really what they want.
Is the first community in the U.S. designed and built specifically for car-free living. Co-founder Ryan Johnson says the demand is strong.
Every generation, and including 90% of Gen Z, would like to pay more to live in a walkable neighborhood.
Retail, restaurants, and to start, nearly 200 apartments, all within steps of each other. No cars means no parking spaces, no garages.
Because we don't have residential parking, it opens us up to have 55% landscape space, and we get to add so much to the neighborhood.
Like social spaces around every corner. The complex is strategically located right next to the area's light rail system. All residents get a free pass. The first 200 also get a free electric e-bike, and a partnership with Lyft gets them discount rides.
So why do you think it's so easy for all these migrants to get these expensive e-bikes? They're all over Chicago, and they're doing gig, work. That's what a lot of the migrants are doing. They're doing, DoorDash and, and all that sort of thing. Deliveries and stuff like that. There's e-bikes all over downtown Chicago. So they're already bringing it, socializing, bringing this into the social construct. It's all a construct. Let me get a scripture. And Obadiah 1:6. And it reads, how the things of Esau searched out, how his hidden things sought up. And the thing is that, Esau tries to hide his counsel. This is Isaiah 29:15. It says, woe unto them that seek to hide their counsel from Yahweh, and their works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth us, and who knoweth us? All right. And the thing is that they keep trying. Esau keeps using the same playbook or the Abkeo. They create a problem, create a serious inconvenience, and they use the fear of safety. They tell people, and then the gullible members of Babylon, of Rome, the new Rome, of New Egypt, the citizens of gully land, the gullible people, because they really are, because you still have a mass amount of people in America that believe anything that's put on CBS, NBC, ABC, whatever. They believe that when a reporter reports, or doesn't even report, reporters aren't reporting. Reporters are just translating a message. They're giving you a message. They're not reporting any damn thing. And they believe anything that any message that they give you from their elite handlers, who are the same group of people who control all the mass media networks, anything that they send to you via their talking heads, they believe it is gospel, man. And the number one thing that they do is they make you feel that you're in fear. They put you in fear by making you feel that your safety is in danger. So you need the real ID to be safe. You need the 15-minute cities to be safe. You need the micro SeeHip to be safe. Because now they can control and track, and that's what this is all about. Because your biometrics will be connected to everything that you're seeing and hearing right now. That's the goal. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Here's this one. And if you don't act right, if you give them problems, Now they're trampling, and look, and like I said, they've been trampling over the Constitution. The fact that the IRS, the Federal Reserve, Title 4D, these foreign entities, or these unelected individuals that have a say-so in and over your government, in and over your banking system, in and over your finances. You never voted for any of these people, yet they control policy. You know, I mean, even when you look at different lobbying groups, you know, all these lobbyist groups should be, think about who they are and where they're from. You got these foreign entities that should be registered as foreign agents that are controlling your policy, controlling governance here in America over American citizens. They violate the Constitution every day. All right, so you patriots have been getting bent over. You know, this is not the land of the brave. This is the land of the bend over and take it. And I might use some Vaseline if you keep your mouth shut. That's where you are. You Americans are just getting bent the hell over.
Hey y'all, so I'm jumping on really quickly. First of all, it's too cold in this building. So yes, excuse me. I know it looks tacky, but this is my jacket because I'm about to head out for a second to do votes. But I wanted to make sure that I told y'all what just happened. So I've been in oversight forever today, but now we are in our markup and it is in judiciary. And let me tell y'all what they just voted for. I want y'all to take a guess. Okay. Y'all probably not gonna guess it because it don't make sense. But if you think of the most ridiculous thing that they could do, okay, I know that that's really hard too because everything that they do is quite ridiculous. But literally, they just voted. They being the other ones, not us, because we were all on the right side of history. They just voted to give Trump the ability, legally, to give him the ability to deport U.S. citizens. That is what they voted for. A bunch of elected U.S. representatives. That is how they voted. Am I telling a lie, Eric, or no?
No, I got my stuff here. Mouthful. No, I'm stunned.
I'm not. But I'm glad that you... okay. Eric been here longer than me, but like...
So what we said was, we even said, you know what, many of us will not offer any more amendments tonight. We won't vote for the overall bill. But if you agree to this, we'll drop any other amendments. We'll take the win that this would be in the bill, that you would agree U.S. citizens can't be deported. They voted to allow Donald Trump to deport U.S. citizens. And they did it during the week that we learned that a 4-year-old little girl fighting cancer, a U.S. citizen, has been deported, separated from her U.S. citizen father and her cancer treatment. So, yeah, it's kind of shocking.
Well, he's shocked. Y'all, listen now. I came in with nothing but fools. So he been here longer, so maybe he still has a little bit of shock in his life, but I don't personally. Because the fact is, we used to live in a world in which where we saw the news about that baby that got deported, the baby with cancer, because supposedly he the man that's all about the children with cancer, right? Like, that's why he made sure one of his guests was at the State of the Union was a child with cancer. So surely, even though they're cutting cancer funding, but like, it is a U.S. citizen. Like, there honestly isn't even this real thing of like deporting a U.S. citizen. As far as I'm concerned, you randomly kidnapping folk and you throwing them out of the country against their civil rights, against their constitutional rights. And frankly, how would they feel if some other country decided that they were going to just start throwing people randomly in our country? Like, that is absolutely insane. So yes, all I gotta say is y'all need to get these fools out of here. But Deborah is so much nicer about how she says things. She wasn't them real. She's one of them real good, nice lawyers. Okay.
So the thing is that they don't give a damn about no damn children. That's how you know. Going back to that whole Title 4D fraud, it's hard not to bring it up because it's affecting so many Americans every day, all day long, every day. And I guarantee you, if that girl was a Title 4D recipient, if one of her parents had a debt of Title 4D over her, they wouldn't have thrown her out the country. You see, if her mother or her father was forced to be paying Title 4D child support for that child, they would have left that child in America. They wouldn't have got rid of her. All right. Even though Title 4D also is a violation of the Constitution because what? It is a foreign treaty. All right. It's not even American. So that's that being a problem. But since that child, there's no debt owed for that child, and we're spending money on her cancer treatment, we're gonna get rid of her. But I guarantee you, if there was a collection connected to that child's social security number, connected to her real ID, they wouldn't have got rid of that child. So they go above and beyond to set up and push on injurious unrighteous decrees. Let's get that. This is Isaiah 10:1. And oh, this is perfect. Woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment. This little girl is needy. All right. And to take away the right from the poor of my people, and widows may be their prey, and they may rob the fatherless. And you know this child was an Israelite. Because I guarantee you, if that child was an Edomite, if that child was a so-called Caucasian white person, they would not have done that. They wouldn't have done that. So, matter of fact, now let's go to, before I speak again, let's go to next scripture I had in mind, which is Sirach 10:8. It's all about making money. They don't care of how unrighteous or how hurtful their things are to people. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. All right, so that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to translate themselves back into power, or keep themselves in power. Because the thing is that America's collapsing, empire's collapsing, and the thing is that wealth does not collapse. It gets translated. It gets transferred. Okay, same thing when the slaves were emancipated here in America. There's a difference between being emancipated and being freed. The masses don't understand that. You were never set free. You were emancipated, meaning you were translated. They took the slaves from the private owners, which they turned around and gave them reparations for. I don't talk about that part too much. They took you from the private owners and gave you unto the government owners, because they needed workers to work those low wage jobs in this new unclean, unhealthy, that destroyed the earth, polluted the world, industrial revolution. All right. That's exactly what it did. The industrial revolution was not a great thing. It was a very destructive thing, and it actually fucked the world up. It fucked up the water. It fucked up the air. It fucked up the soil. It fucked up the food. And it also came with petroleum-based medicines that cancer that are making people sick. None of those things have actually healed people. They mask your injuries, mask the symptoms, and just let you die in comfort in some cases. That's pretty much it, as they abandon the old ways. All right? Because why? Because these people were proud. Or matter of fact, next verse, Ecclesiastes 10:9. Why is earth and ashes proud? There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man. They wanted money so bad that they ruined and destroyed the earth to do so. And now they want to call themselves recycling and all that, that's been proven to be a hoax as well as many other things. Many other hoaxes were done throughout this man's time of rulership. All right. For such is one that setteth his own soul up to sale, because while he liveth, he casteth away his bowels. So this man, to make himself wealthy, he would allow people to be utterly destroyed physically, financially. And that's exactly what they do. And once again, and the way they sell it to get themselves in position, like it says, they're telling you now that you have a deadline for May 7th, which is not that. That's next Wednesday. Today is Thursday the 1st. So Wednesday the 7th, all right, about 6 days from now. That's your in order for you to travel on a plane domestically, you're going to need this ID, which is once again getting you that much closer to the micro SeeHip, because all this is going to be controlled with your biometrics. Even the sellout 501c3 camp, the main one, all right, or the main two, are starting to change their stance. Especially the main one, with the leader, Nate Satan. Everyone should know who Nate Satan is, because he is exactly that. He's Nate Devil. He's a big deceiver, man. Okay, and these guys that took the bag, clearly took a bag, that are doing it big on this side, jet setting, and effing up the doctrine, and being proud about it. That's next video. Yeah. And this is, matter of fact, this will be the last one, and I'll finish with some scripture and wrap this thing up. But here we go. Because once again, that order ab Kale, and the goal is to create these 15-minute cities where all your biometrics and you're tracked and they know where you are. That's the big push for the electric cars. Electric cars actually turn out the batteries. The making of them and the destruction of them is actually creates more pollution, more greenhouse gases than regular oil. They leave that part out of the equation. These people are liars, man. But here we go.
All right, y'all, so check this out. They are trying to set something up, and it's not looking good. So this guy is giving everybody a warning. So watch this video, because everybody needs to know about what's going on, what they're trying to do, what they're plotting against us as Americans. And at this point, it's about to affect everybody, regardless of what nationality, what race you are. It's about to affect everybody at this point. So, warning comes before destruction. This is a warning. Y'all watch this video, share this with as many people as possible. Check it out.
To my friends and followers, to the people of the People's Union USA, to everyone who stands in solidarity, listen closely. Today, across Europe, Spain, Portugal, and parts of France, there are massive power outages. Airports are shut down, trains are stopped, traffic lights are dead, people can't use their credit cards, communications are crashing, and they are already trying to blame it on rare atmospheric conditions. Don't be fooled.
Fear and lies.
This has all of the signs of a coordinated cyber attack.
Exactly.
And isn't it funny or coincidental, just as the United States quietly removed some of our cybersecurity protections that we have in place, this starts happening overseas. I believe this is a test, my friends. They're testing the collapse of systems, from banking to transportation to communication, and they are watching every second to see how the people react.
Exactly.
Mark my words. What's happening in Europe will happen here in the United States. And when it does, they will use it as the excuse they need to declare martial law. Not for your safety, but for your control.
100%.
Now, I personally believe Russia is behind much of this. And I believe that every
I don't
piece of
agree with
chaos
that.
we are experiencing right now, the
not
division,
true.
the executive orders, the censorship, this insane Project 2025 is a part
See,
of a much
because
larger plan.
he's one of these Edomites that don't want to acknowledge that it's his own government that's doing this to the people. The Russians had nothing to do with Portugal and Spain. All right. Those people are actually dealing with the BRICS nations. So yeah, Russia had nothing to do that. Yeah, that's wishful thinking, because the average American does not want to accept that they're the problem in the world, them and their number one partner, the Israelis, that they're creating all the problems. All right, it doesn't benefit the Russians to do that to Portugal and Spain. He just told you that they're running a test. All right, then he turns around and says that Russia, because Russia's not trying to make 15-minute cities. Russia's not trying to push for the real ID. That is an American thing. Okay, they're behind it, and it's all to get your biometrics into play, to get absolute 100% control over you. They're trying to be godlike, to know all things, to know where you are. And this also will come with what do they call it? The social credit score. So people like me, anyone like the videos we were watching, people who speak against things that are just wrong being done by the government, that is enough to send the Gestapo like creation that's going to be a part of this biometric thing, a part of this micro SeeHip, a part of these 15-minute cities. The Gestapo will be able to come in and extract individuals out, all right, who they will look at as T's, at dissenters, because you don't have to do anything physical against the government. You can just not agree with them and speak it out loud, or say it in a post or in a video or in a tweet, and that is enough for them to deport you or send you away to one of these internment camps that they set up in El Salvador and different parts of the world, even here, because they're gonna have them here as well. All right, they didn't buy those 30,000 guillotines some years ago. They didn't get those guillotines for just to collect dust. They're gonna use those things. All right, and this all comes down to the micro SeeHip. So let's get that. This is Revelation 13. Actually, let's read Revelation 2 and 10 first. Three and 10. Let's start there. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell on the earth. The hour of temptation is when you're faced with the biometric part of the real ID, which is the micro SeeHip, the Charagma, them inserting something under your skin. All right. If you refuse it, Revelation 2 and 10. For none of these things which thou hast to suffer, behold, the devil, the deceiver of man, the Edomites, the so-called white man, shall cast some of you into prison, that you may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days, a period of time. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee the crown of life. This is evidence that some of us are going to be martyrs. Some of us will be put to death in these camps that they're going to send us to. More than likely with those guillotines, especially if you're healthy, if you fit and muscular, all right, they're going to want your body parts. It's going to be the one time when it's going to be not a benefit to be fit. I'm an older guy, but I'm pretty fit, pretty muscular, and if you young, fit, and muscular, you guarantee they're going to want your body parts. Then they take his head off, preserve that body, preserve those organs. Because the synagogue of Satan can use those. All right. Let's go to Revelation 13 and how Esau never let a good crisis go to waste. Say that dissenter. I'm glad he dissented or she dissented. I'm telling you, man, this man, this is Revelation 13 and in 16. I'm starting 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, or the BESAT. The image of the beast should both speak and cause as many that will worship the image of the BEST should be killed. All right. That means you are in an alliance with this system. That doesn't mean a picture of Cesare Borgia can now speak. Christianity can now speak. That's retarded. All right. That's a retarded doctrine. Anybody teaching that is retarded. All right. And he caused of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark, a charagma, in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right. When you attach that to the scripture before, how could that be sin? That makes absolutely zero sense. Once again, that's a doctrine of retardation. Anyone teaching that is mentally slow. Something's wrong with them. All right, you have a problem. Okay, because Esau Edom wants you to sin. The system wants you to sin. You're gonna go into the store like the apostle said so many times. Hey, I haven't told any lies. I haven't stolen anything. So I want to use my Christian. I'm a Christian. I need to buy some eggs and some steak, some orange juice. That's utter madness. All right. And he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bonds, even those in prison. All right. To receive a charagma in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right, and you can remember those machines where you sit down in it at the Walmarts, where your right hand went in there, and it's like a reader for your right hand. And if you've lost your hands, all right, you're in a wheelchair, they have the same thing for your forehead, so they can read your bios from those machines. Yeah. And that no man might buy or sell save they have the mark, the real ID, the biometric part, which is the next step, the micro SeeHip, or the name of the beast and the number of his name. All right. So by getting it, what you're saying is that you are in alliance, you are in alignment with the beast system. All right. You have been warned. Call halal, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakahak, Wadash, Kwam, Yasharala, Abad, Babal.